Okay, good morning everyone and welcome to today's featured webinar on the occupier side of the Fixflo site and also some content edit webinar. My name is Jessica Doobie and I'll be hosting the webinar today. Just to let you know, this is the 7th featured webinar that we've held for Fixflo Essential and Fixflo Professional, so it's great to see you guys on here. The other webinars, if you have not joined them, are available on help.fixflo.com if you'd like to check any of those out. Before I get started today, I'm just going to go through a quick webinar agenda so that you understand exactly what we'll be running through. So first of all, we'll be going through the occupier side of the Fixflo site. It's important to gain a full understanding of how your occupiers report maintenance issues, so that when you're speaking to occupiers, you can really get into their shoes and explain to them exactly what they'll be seeing. After that, we'll be going through how you can edit some of the emails that go out through the Fixflo system. Then I'll be showing you how you can edit the guidance and advice pop-ups, which are done all on the agent side. And they will then pull through to the occupier side of the system. I will also be showing you how you can remove any panels from your fault tree, so you can simplify the occupier side if you wish. I'll be showing you how you can create new guidance and advice pop-ups as well as how to set up agent assignment and also how to set up teams. Guys, at the end of the webinar, there will be a live Q&A, and just to let you know, I am recording this webinar, and a recording will be out to you by the end of play today. And it will take around 45 minutes to go through the entire webinar. As mentioned with the live Q&A, I'm happy to answer any questions that do come through, so please do get any questions over to me using the Q&A button. This is available on your Zoom bar, and please avoid the chat as I do like to streamline all communication. Guys, before we get started, I'm just going to release a poll. There will be a poll at the end of the webinar as well, just to capture some of your feedback. It would be great to know how helpful you found this webinar. But before we get started, I just want to capture some feedback on how you actually find the Fixflo site. So I've just launched the first poll, so this should populate here for you. There are 5 very quick, easy to answer questions, sorry. So if you could please let us know. So question 1 is, has your agency made any changes to the guidance and advice pop-ups before now? Question 2 is, out of 10, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, how confident do you currently feel explaining the occupier side of your Fixflo site to your occupiers? Question 3 is also out of 10. How happy are you with how often Fixflo is being used by your occupiers? Question 4 is again out of 10. How happy are you with the training available on Fixflo? And the final question, guys, is out of 10. How happy are you with the overall Fixflo product? Now, guys, these questions are fully anonymous, so please do be completely honest. It would just be great to hear from you kind of how happy you are with things and get an idea of what's going on with our clients. You know, you guys are the ones that use Fixflo, and we want to make sure that you are fully happy with everything going on. We do take feedback very seriously, guys, so it's really just great to hear from you sometimes. I will leave this poll up for another 20 seconds. There's a few people left to vote, so I'd really appreciate if you could just kind of let us know how you guys are finding everything in relation to these questions. That is absolutely perfect. Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to end the poll now. Thank you to everybody who voted. That really is greatly appreciated. And as discussed, I will be launching a final poll just at the end of the webinar to find out kind of how happy you were with today's webinar. Again, honesty is great. We do take this feedback into consideration, and it is all anonymous. So as discussed, I will be starting on the occupier side of the Fixflo site today. Now, understanding the occupier side is really important when it comes to you speaking to your occupiers about Fixflo. If you don't understand it, you will end up not really selling it to your occupiers. And obviously you want to make sure you're getting the word out there and you're really passionate about how Fixflo works in order to get a higher usage from your occupiers. Just a quick one, pricing is taken into account by how many properties you fully manage rather than the actual usage of Fixflo. So it is worth getting the usage up there as much as you possibly can. Okay, perfect. So here I am on my occupier side of the system. And just to let you know, my occupiers will go to my URL here, which is jessica-doobie.fixflo.com. Now, this is my example one, but just to let you know, each agency has their own unique URL. So it's really important that you do know your URL, and that is what you're telling your occupiers all about. If you say to your occupiers, please go to Fixflo, they will either end up on our website or calling us up. You want to make sure that in order to make sure traffic goes straight to your Fixflo system, you are aware of your URL. And just to let you know, that is also where you go to log in. So actually, it should be something that is kind of to your mind. And when it comes to promoting the site, to your occupiers, we have got videos on that, guidance on that, and also I have done a featured webinar on best ways to promote the Fixflo system. So please, as I mentioned before, this is the 7th webinar. If you would like to see the one on promote, that is available in our video library under our featured webinars. And just let me know if you would like me to link that out to you as well. I would advise watching it because it will give you some really good ideas of how just to get that word out there to your occupiers. Excellent. So guys, just to let you know, first up, Fixflo is a white labeled product. So I've got the Fixflo logo and color scheme throughout my system. However, you will be able to brand this with your own color scheme and own logo, so it doesn't look like it's come from a third party. It's also a cloud-based product. So when you're speaking to your occupiers, please let them know they can report maintenance issues using any device. For example, it could be a mobile phone, a laptop, or perhaps an iPad. Also, the system is available in over 40 languages. So the language tool sits up here on the top left-hand corner of the screen. The top 3 languages are fully customizable depending on your occupier base, and that's all done on the agent side of the system. And also they can click here on English UK, where they can see all the other languages appear. Guys, just to let you know, say for example, we had a Spanish occupier. They could click here on Español, and the system will then pull in to Spanish for them. They can report the maintenance issue using their language, and everything will get translated back into English for you guys. So if you do face any language barriers at all, that can be overcome using Fixflo. You can see there is a welcome message here at the top of the screen, and now this is customizable, guys. And just to let you know, one example of where agents do customize this would be around Christmas time. Here you can wish your occupiers a Merry Christmas and also let them know about your opening hours during that period. Scrolling down, when it comes to reporting the maintenance issue, you can see here it says, what is the problem? And occupiers can either search for the issue using the search bar here at the top of the page, or alternatively, scrolling down, they can use these little icons below to drill down and essentially let you know exactly what the maintenance issue is. Guys, just to let you know, there is guidance and advice available on the Fixflo system. And this can help with 2 things. The first thing it can help with is filtering out maintenance issues which shouldn't come through to you. Great examples of that would be things such as mildew in the bathroom, batteries and smoke alarms, and also light bulbs and light fittings. And another great thing about the guidance and advice is it can help with first-time fixes. So for example, boiler issues. There could be, for example, guidance and advice with a few things that occupiers can try doing before reporting the issue through to you. So I'm just going to show you an example of how guidance and advice can help to filter out maintenance issues. If I'm an occupier and I say have a problem in my bathroom with mildew, I may go onto Fixflo. I may click here on bathroom and toilets. And as you can see now, as the occupier, within bathroom and toilet, I'm now going to drill down as to what the issue is within that. So I may say here that it's in the bath. And again, now I can drill down further. So with this example, I may go to here between bath and wall. And I may say that the sealant is discolored or moldy, as that's what mildew is. When clicking on that, this is an example of some guidance and advice which we have up there, and it is a templated pop-up. So there is certain guidance and advice, guys, that we will put through to you when you sign up to Fixflo. And this will have, and these pop-ups will appear for occupiers when they're reporting maintenance issues. The whole point of this webinar, as well as showing you the occupier side, is showing you how you can change this webinar as well, this content as well. So it is fully customizable. And I will be showing you that when we get onto the agent side. So here we are with mildew, and there is actually a photo embedded onto this guidance and advice pop-up as well. So as well as being customizable, you can add photos, videos, GIFs, and also additional content. With this example, it does say here, the removal of mildew is often an occupier's responsibility under the terms of their lease. So with this example, you think that, okay, as the occupier, actually, this is something that I now need to resolve. I will show you how we customize these when we get onto the agent side, but for now, as the occupier, I would most likely cancel out of that, and then it saves you guys the time for the maintenance issues which really need your time and attention. Perfect. So that was one example of how guidance and advice can be used to filter out maintenance issues which shouldn't come through to you. And now I'm going to show you an example of guidance and advice which could be used to help occupiers with a first-time fix. So again, I'm an occupier and I'm going back onto Fixflo because now there's an issue with my boiler. I've got to fix the mildew myself, so that's all great. And now I'm coming on here and I go to heating and boiler. Again, you can see that I'm drilling down as to what the maintenance issue is. So within heating and boiler, there are lots of different icons I could now essentially click into to go and resolve my maintenance issue. With this example, I'm going to say it's my electric boiler or heater, and I'm going to click here onto electric boiler. So here we are. What's the problem? So within electric boiler or heater, there are 4 little options I could click on as the occupier now. Boiler leaking, boiler noisy, boiler not working, and also other. For this example, I'm going to click here on boiler not working. And again, you can see this is another templated pop-up which is displayed. So it says here, check boiler. So if safe and convenient to do so, please perform the following checks on your boiler before reporting this issue. There are 5 different checks that now, as the occupier, I can make. And again, you can add additional content, videos, photos, or GIFs. Some people do include things like YouTube videos here, showing, for example, somebody fixing a boiler and things that they can try, perhaps upping the pressure, things like that. However, just do be aware that if you are going to use YouTube videos, if YouTube do remove that video, then obviously it will kind of link out to a video that no longer exists. So it's just one thing to bear in mind. So as the occupier now, I'm going to try all of the 5 different things, but there still may be an issue. So essentially I can scroll down here and I can click here on continue. So if there's still a problem, I would then go to report the maintenance issue. Guys, the beauty of Fixflo is that you will receive one report with absolutely all of the information on it, meaning that as quickly and efficiently as possible, you can get the issue resolved for the occupier. So when reporting the maintenance issue, occupiers will be asked for certain information in order to complete the report. So here we're on step 1, which is what is the problem, and the occupier has already drilled through as to what the issue is. Now, depending on what they've chosen, there will be different criteria, which is asked for in option 1. And with this one, it's an appliance, so the appliance type is required. This is automatically generated based on the category the occupier chose. And then coming down here, there is some more information which is required, such as here the make and the model of the boiler. As the occupier starts to type with the make, you can see that options do in fact come up to help them with spelling. The model is also required. This can help you and also the contractor to understand a bit more about the boiler. There is some optional information here as well, such as the serial number and also the number of flights of stairs to the appliance. And finally, guys, the fault detail. Now, the more fault detail that's added, obviously the better. And as you can see, the occupier can simply not move forward without this. It is asterisked here, so this is in fact required. Just as an example. Okay, perfect. Next, this is the second stage. So as you can see, guys, there are 5 steps for the occupier now to fill out when they're reporting the maintenance issue on your Fixflo system. So on the next step, which is step 2, they can add photos. Here they can in fact add up to 10 photos, videos or audio files to give you a more complete report. As they say, a picture does tell 1,000 words. So here they can simply upload file. And guys, just to let you know, over 80% of issues which are in fact reported via Fixflo are reported using a smartphone. If the occupier was now reporting the issue on a smartphone and they clicked here to upload, they could easily access their camera, allowing them to take a quick snap and continue reporting the issue. So I'm just going to add a photo now. Perfect. Next is step 3, where they must add their address details. When adding their address details, there are different address search options that you can add to your settings if you like. And just to let you know, we will go through the Fixflo settings in another webinar called Best Practice Top Tips and Tricks, which runs absolutely every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. It's currently hosted by myself and it lasts about 45 minutes. If you would like the link to sign up to that, please do let us know. We will go through kind of more settings with you there, along with the promote section and how to keep your data up to date and why it's so important to keep your data up to date. Perfect. So with this, I've got the postcode search option switched on. So I'm going to start typing in an address. And I'm going to report this one to Fixflo House. Section 4 for the occupier is then providing their contact details. Now here they will need to provide their first name, their surname, their email address, and their telephone number. This ensures that you get the most up-to-date contact information of the occupier. The final section here, guys, for the occupier is to confirm and send. So there is some information here, and just to let you know, I'm basing today's webinar on a lettings product. If you are a block customer, then the block side for section 5 is slightly different. So here, section 5, we've got further notes. So here they can add further notes, such as limited access for vans. Underneath that, you can see there's also pet information, alarm information, and also parking restrictions. Again, these 3 can be turned off if you wish to, or you can turn off 1 or 2 of them as well. So you can choose whether or not these are there. And again, we will go through these 3 in best practice, top tips and tricks. Underneath that, guys, coronavirus questions. I will in fact put this into the webinar because this is super important. This is all about keeping all of your parties safe. There are 4 which can be turned on if you wish, and you can turn on again 1, 2 or 3 or 4 of them if you wish as well. So you don't need to have them all on, and if they are turned on, they do become mandatory for the occupier to fill out. So question 1 is, does anyone in your household have any symptoms of coronavirus? Is anyone in your household being tested for coronavirus? Is anyone in your household self-isolating due to potential coronavirus infection? And finally, has anyone in your household been in contact with somebody who has tested positive? So again, these are up to you if you have on, and they will be mandatory if switched on. Underneath that, guys, there is some more information here. Occupiers can let you know whether there is a vulnerable occupier at the property. This will increase the priority of the issue if they switch this, if they tick this to be yes. And you can see here there is a description of vulnerable occupiers. Occupiers must agree to the Fixflo terms and conditions, which state that we are not you, we are simply a hub they're reporting the maintenance issue through, and the issue will actually be resolved by their property manager. They can say whether or not they'd like their details remembered for next time. As you can see, this is not recommended on a shared PC. They have the opportunity to view the privacy notice if they wish. And scrolling up, guys, they can say whether or not they'd like to be present when the works are carried out. Now, if an occupier says here that they would like to be present when the work is carried out and they go to submit the issue, you can see here a templated pop-up does appear saying, "Are you sure?" Here in bold, there is a section saying if they are not at the property when they have confirmed that they will be, they may be required to pay a missed call-out charge. Guys, this is another templated pop-up which is fully customizable, and again, I will show you how to change this on the agent side. For example, some agents change this to let them know what the missed call-out charge would be. And just to let you know, 20% of occupiers that see this message actually change their mind, as they don't want to be held responsible, and they say that they're quite happy for the property to be accessed without them being present. Then, once happy, they can submit the issue. Again, there's a pop-up message for if they don't want to be present. This is templated and again can be changed. Once happy, the occupier will say confirm. Once they've confirmed the issue, it will now be sent off to you guys. And you can see this is what the occupier will see. This shows them that this has now been sent. They are provided here with a reference number. This always starts with I for Indigo, S for Sierra. And things they can do next, if they wish to, they can report another maintenance issue. And also they can provide us with feedback. Again, we do actually view all feedback that occupiers give as well, and it can in fact change the way maintenance issues are in fact dealt with. Guys, just to let you know, once the issues have been reported, there will be 2 emails sent outside of Fixflo, and I will also be showing you how you can make amendments to these. This is the first one, which goes out to you guys as agents. So if you have been using Fixflo for a while, this should look relatively familiar. So again, this will be branded with your logo, and it says a new issue has been reported. Here you can see again, so now you're receiving that one complete report with everything on it, meaning that as quickly and efficiently as possible, you can get resolving the issue. Here it's got absolutely everything on it, including those coronavirus related questions. And you can view the issue as a PDF, which is in fact attached to this email. The PDF includes photos as well, and it is time and date stamped here on the bottom right-hand corner. The other email that goes out will go out to the occupier, and again, I will be showing you how you can make changes to this. So here we are. Again, it will have your logo here, and it will say, "Dear Martin, thank you for reporting a repair through our online repair reporting system. A copy of your repair request is attached for your records." So they will have this PDF similar to what you received, again, time and date stamped for them with that IS number on it. Just to let you know, the reason this email is so important is because it complies with Section 21, as it provides the occupier with an adequate response. An adequate response is you responding in writing within 14 days to let the occupier know what you're going to do, along with a rough timescale. For any maintenance issue that's reported, you must provide the occupier with an adequate response in order to be compliant with Section 21. So you can imagine here that actually using Fixflo is a really kind of good thing for you guys to make sure that you're actually staying compliant. Guys, I hope that has been helpful in terms of showing you how the occupier side of the system works. Now what I want to do is I want to log in as the agent side. I'm going to show you how you can edit that email that went out along with those pop-ups. And I'm going to show you, so let me start with that bit actually. Let's start with the emails. So in order to edit the emails, guys, you are going to need to have administrator permissions. And if you do, you will have the setup button here, which is on your left-hand menu sidebar. When I click on setup, in order to make changes to those emails that have gone out, you will want to click here on content edit. So again, guys, that's setup, content edit. Once you get into content edit, you'll be taken to this page where you can see there are two tabs. We're going to start here on the content tab, and this is where you can make changes to some of the emails that go out through the Fixflo system, as well as your welcome message, which was at the top, which I mentioned at the beginning. The example there was Christmas, wishing people a Merry Christmas and letting people know about your opening hours. And you can also make changes to the vulnerable occupier definition, as well as those final little pop-ups which appeared when occupiers say whether or not they'd like to be present. So let's start with the email. The email that goes out to the occupier, as I just mentioned, it does comply with section 21 as it provides the occupier with that adequate response, but it can be changed. To change it, you want to go to email, new issue report to occupier. By clicking on this, you will find the email that I just showed you on the occupier side. And if you are going to make changes to this, just be slightly careful to make sure that it does comply with that adequate response. Again, it's letting the occupier know what you're going to do along with the rough timescales. So as long as you've kept that in, you will be fine and it will stay compliant. So feel free to make any changes there. And just to let you know again, within setup and content edit, this is where you can find, guys, other emails that go out through the system. So if you wanted to make any changes to any of the emails, this is the place to go. So please do have a look through these if you want to make any changes, as long as obviously you have those permissions to do so. Scrolling down to the bottom of that content section, just to let you know, here you've got your welcome message. So again, a lot of people change this around bank holidays and Christmas and things like that. So you can click on that and make changes if you wish to. I think by default, it says welcome to our repair reporting system. I've added this little section about being as descriptive as possible and providing a photo when they can. So if you want to make changes, that's where you would go. Also within the content section, guys, you've got here your vulnerable occupier definition. So if you wanted to change that, you could do. You've got your missed call out charge one here as well. So that's when occupiers say they would like to be present when the works are carried out. Again, the example I gave here was people sometimes click into this and they may say how much the missed call out charge would be. As I did mention, this does put off about 20% of occupiers who do in fact change their mind. People don't always want to be held responsible and get charged for things that they don't want to be. Obviously, everyone wants to avoid a fine. And finally, you've also got your text issue confirm submission. So this is when they don't want to be present. And again, you can make changes here as well. So that's how you change those little pop-ups and also the emails that go out. How do you change the actual guidance and advice pop-ups though? These can be fantastic, as I mentioned before, for both A, filtering maintenance issues out, and B, first time fixes. Guys, this is fantastic and it's a really good kind of USP of Fixflo, as it can really help you guys with the time and attention that you need on issues that really need you to be there. So again, you would go to setup, you would click on content edit, and you would want to go to the second tab here called fault tree pop-ups. Now, fault tree pop-ups, this will show you the templated pop-ups that are already on. So if you haven't added any pop-ups at all, these will just be the default ones we've given you. They will start with a message to occupier, and then it will tell you what they're all about. So for example, here, if I scroll down, if I wanted to add anything to mildew, I could do so here. So this is the templated pop-up that I showed you. I could, if I wanted to, update this photo. I could also add a bit more information about perhaps good cleaning products that people can use, things that maybe we'd recommend, roughly how much they cost, where to find them, things like that. Guys, it is just like a Word document. You would simply click in to this, like this, and type your text here. It's very, very easy to add any photos and also videos as well. We do have guidance and advice on that. And remember, if you are going to do it from YouTube, you will need to embed them. We have guidance and advice on exactly how you would do that. And also just remember, if YouTube do take a video down, you won't be made aware of that. So occupiers may be seeing videos that aren't actually there, and I think it will just kind of zone out to this no longer exists. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind. But as I mentioned, these guidance and advice pop-ups really can make all the difference. So making sure they're the best they can be will be really helpful for you, and it's something you can really show your landlords as well. When you are in a pop-up, you can see the usages here, so you can see where they're in fact going to be used. And scrolling down, you can also add tokens to any of the guidance and advice pop-ups. A good example of this would be, for example, adding your agency numbers. To do that, you would simply want to insert this token here of office hours, and remember those kind of brackety things here. So if I copy that, if I wanted to add office hours to this one, I mean, you wouldn't want to add it to mildew, but just as an example, just remember to put in the token and press save. Where does office hours pull through from? Well, it pulls through from setup, content edit, and agent telephone numbers here. So make sure this is up to date and happy as you'd like it, and then just make sure that you pull through the correct token for that. So you can go through your fault tree pop-ups, and I would recommend that when you have some time, just to go through these and make sure they are the best they possibly can be, guys. You want to make sure that you really are helping occupiers in any way you can, and obviously filtering out those maintenance issues, leaving you the time and attention for the issues that need your time. Before I go on to the fault tree, guys, I just want to show you how to turn on those all-important COVID questions. So to do that, again, it will be in setup, so you will need permissions, and you'll want to click on settings. We're going to go through settings in the best practice top tips and tricks webinar, which again is on a Wednesday at 2 p.m. So please, if you would like to know more about that, please do let me know, and I'd be happy to send you the link on how to sign up. The COVID questions sit here, and as I mentioned before, there are 4 of them. By default, guys, these will be in fact turned off. So you will see that if you haven't turned these on already, they will sit like this. If you are going to turn any of these on, please remember just to switch on the ones you would like. And remember, please, to scroll down and press Save Settings. If you simply tick them but don't scroll down, they simply will not save. Perfect, guys. The next thing I want to show you is your fault tree. So again, it's within setup, and you've got your fault tree edit here. If I click on fault tree edit, this will show me now a mini version of the fault categories that I have here on the right-hand side of the screen. What I can do is, if I want to say remove some of the icons, I can do. For example, I can see swimming pool here. If I have got no swimming pools at any of the properties that I fully manage, I may want to click here on swimming pool and scroll up, where I can in fact hide the category icon. That is easy to do, and then it will make the system much more minimal. I may have swimming pools, so I may want to keep swimming pools, but I may have, for example, no spas. In which case I could keep this category icon, click into spa, and actually remove that category icon if I wish. Guys, we can also add guidance and advice where we haven't already. So as I mentioned before, in your content edit, and your content, and your fault tree pop-ups, these are the templated ones we've added for you. If you want to add guidance and advice where we haven't, you would simply click here on fault tree edit. And I'm going to go, for example, here to pests and vermin. I'm going to click here on rodents, and I may say, for example, it is a mouse. You can see here that if someone was to say there are mice, the current pop-up, guys, is showing as none. What I can do is I could either copy over from another pop-up, or I can add a whole new one. For example, if people are finding mice or rats in their properties, you may want to let people know about maybe emptying bins a bit more regularly, not leaving food out, and perhaps having maybe a mouse trap or a rat trap, something like that, to try and resolve the issue again before it comes through to you. So add guidance and advice where we haven't if you wish to, and just remember you've got the templated ones within content edit, and ones that aren't yet there will need to be added through fault tree edit, where you can also minimize your fault tree. Perfect, guys. When it comes to issues being reported, you can in fact assign them to agents and also teams. Just to let you know, first of all, again, within setup and settings, you here have got your contact settings. Now here, guys, you've got your central email address, and this field must in fact be filled in. This essentially you should see as the net email address. So when a maintenance issue is reported, if the issue is not assigned to an agent or a team, this is the email address which will pick that issue up. You can add in CC email addresses if you wish to, and please make sure if you do, they are separated by a semicolon, and I also put them on separate lines just so it reads slightly easier. But you must in fact have at least one email address here. So this is for all of the unassigned issues that will be caught by this central email address net. To assign either landlords, properties, or postcodes to an agent, that is easily done. So for example, if you have different agents looking after different landlords, properties, or postcodes, you can set this up on a per agent basis. This means that when an issue is reported, if somebody's assigned that postcode, property, or landlord, the central email address will not receive the email, but that person assigned to that issue will. So if you click here on people and we go to agents, I can in fact click into, say for example here, Lauren, where you've got their issue allocations here. Lauren hasn't been assigned any issues at the moment, and you can see in fact a little summary of their assignments here. So they've got no property assignment set up, no landlord assignment set up. To set up postcode assignments, guys, you would click on people and agents and click into the agent like I just have. Postcodes can be added here, and you can simply add a list of postcodes. You just need the first half of the postcode, for example, SW1. And I would say you can add postcodes on a new line or simply separate them with a comma. If I then press save, any issues that now come in for the postcode SW1 or SW4 will now auto assign to Lauren. And rather than going to the central email address, they will instead go to this email here. You can remove postcode assignments as well by simply clicking here on delete. To set up landlord assignment, guys, you would have to click on people and actually go into landlords, so it's not done through the agent as per se. I can scroll down and I can click onto the landlord here, for example, Timothy Smith, where you would then scroll down and click on issue assignment. Here you can see that agents and teams can automatically be allocated to receive issues related to this landlord. Here I would add the agent or the team, and then press save. Lauren will now be assigned to any issues that come in to properties related to this landlord, Timothy Smith. To remove that assignment, guys, you would simply scroll down, X that, and again, please do remember to press save. Finally, you can do this on a per property basis by clicking here on properties, where all of your properties will appear. I can click into a property here, where again, I can scroll down and I can see that I can assign this to a different agent or team. On this occasion, this has actually been assigned to a team. The team's called Samantha, but I can remove that and I can assign this to Lauren instead if I wish to. And again, remember guys to press save. Similar to before, you would simply click X here and then save this to remove that allocation. Now, any issues that come in for one of the Terrapins will go straight to Lauren. Setting up assignment is obviously really important if that's something you have where different people look after different areas, different people, and also different properties. So please remember to make sure that you've got that all assigned and that that's all set up correctly. If you have more than one person looking after a particular area, person, or property, guys, you can always set up teams, and teams is also set up within people. You can simply click on people and you'll find teams just underneath agents. As you can see here, guys, I have got 5 teams set up, and it's very simple to add a new team. To do so, you simply click here on add new, or I can come up with a team name. For example, West London. If I wish, I can give it a description and I can say whether or not it is deleted or inactive. As it's a new team, I'm going to keep that as no and then press save. Once that is saved, you can see that the assignments tab will pull through and it will also allow me now to add new users. Users can only be added once the team is created, and one agent can only be assigned to one team. You cannot assign an agent to multiple teams. With this example, I'm going to add Lauren, and I'm also going to add George. There isn't really any point in having a team set up with just one person assigned to it. I guess the only benefit of doing that would be on the dashboard, that you can actually view dashboard panels on a team basis rather than on a person basis. So if you wanted to oversee how someone was doing, I guess then you could assign them to a team and just have that one person so you could kind of view what's going on. But I mean, that is completely up to you. Other than that, I would say there's no benefit of doing it. So sorry, just back to people and teams here. So I've now got my West London sat there, and I can see that there are 2 people, in fact, assigned to that team. I can now click into that team and go to assignments, or again, I can see that kind of assignment summary. I can add postcode assignment and property assignment and landlord assignment, as I just showed you through the agent assignment. It is exactly the same, but rather than adding a person, I would add a team. Excellent, guys. That's pretty much everything I wanted to show you in today's webinar, and I hope it has been helpful in understanding the occupier side better, along with some of these important settings. I'm just going to launch the second poll with you guys, because it would be really great just to hear how helpful you found this webinar. It simply has 4 quick questions on it, asking how useful you found the webinar, and a scale of 1 to 10, how helpful you found it, whether from the webinar you think you'll be making any changes, and also if you would like to see more of these featured webinars on Fixflo. Guys, it has been really a pleasure showing you the system this morning. I will be staying online for a few more minutes in case anyone has any questions. No questions have come through as of yet. Remember to check out our other featured webinars, and if you would like to find out any information about any of them, please let me know. I can link them out. And if you'd like to come to any of the other webinars we have available, such as best practice, top tips and tricks, please let me know. I hope you're all keeping safe during these uncertain times. And again, thank you so much for joining me on this morning's webinar, showing you the occupier side along with content edit as well. I have just had a question through, so thank you so much for your question. Thank you, Amy. So just to read the question out so everybody knows what it is. Does an occupant receive a message to say an issue has been closed, even if an FYI is not sent? E.g., if the job is rejected due to being not urgent, or the landlord does not want to spend any money on the issue. So that's a very good question, Amy. Thank you so much. With regards to keeping occupiers in the loop, before I answer that question, occupiers are kept in the loop when contractors set an appointment date. That is when they will be kept in the loop. You can also send comments to occupiers as you are resolving maintenance issues as well. So there is a comments tab. So if I click into the issue I've reported today, you can send comments to anyone involved with the issue, and that will include the occupier to keep them in the loop. When you close an issue, so say for example, the landlord said, we don't want to do any work on this boiler not working, we can click here on cancel, on action, sorry, and close and cancel the issue. And the only way to let them know it's closed is to send an FYI to the occupier. They will not be automatically updated when issues are closed, but do remember as well, guys, that you can, even on closed issues, send a comment. So you could send a comment as well saying, hey, this issue has now been closed due to blah, blah, blah. But you can always send that FYI when closing the issue down as well. Also, guys, just to let you know, you can turn on occupier feedback. So once the contract has been out, it will send the occupier an email asking them for some feedback, and a feedback tab will be created as part of the issue here as well. So you'll add a feedback tab will be added along this blue banner. So again, I guess that's another way of keeping them in the loop, but no, it doesn't automatically update them. You can either do it when closing the issue, as I just showed you, or through the comments tab. I hope that makes sense. Cool, guys. I'll be staying online just for a couple more minutes. Any Fixflo related question, I'm very, very happy to answer. And again, if there are no other questions, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for answering my polls. It's been a real pleasure, and have a fantastic rest of the day and great week, and enjoy this beautiful sunshine that we're having. Thank you.